I got a chance to take a tour around High Point Regional High School. I'm so excited to learn about the different departments this school has to offer. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous, but I know it'll be all right. My tour guide for today is Miss Jacqueline. She is one of the guidance counselors here at the school. I can't wait to get started.
I'm going to point out, we're not going to go in, but this is one of our gyms. This is the East Gym.
Cool.
It's the bigger gym.
Okay.
So you could have a gym class in there. This is the guidance department.
Okay.
So I always tell new students that as long as you know where the guidance department is, you can pretty much find everything.
Love that.
Always find it here. See if there's some kids, teachers around. Oh,
Hi.
two fine students. Sammy is an awesome choir student. Kyle, theater band. Can you guys give us like two quick thoughts
So
on
if
this?
you're interested in choir, I am a huge choir person. I love to sing and I love music. I've been in choir since freshman year and I took choir 1. And then I've been in it all 3 years so far and I'm a junior this year. I'm also part of Chamber Singers, which is a select choir group that we have here at High Point. And the choir directors here are really great at getting people involved with choirs outside of school. So I've also done the Sussex County Choir, Region, and All-State choirs, which is a lot of fun. But even if you're brand new to music and you know nothing about it, Choir 1, which you'll take your freshman year or whenever you choose to, is great for learning, new notes, and they really have a great way of teaching everybody music. So I encourage you to try out concert choir.
Alright, and I'm going to tell you about concert band. So you can join concert band 1 as a freshman, like what I did. You can join at any level. You can have no experience at all and still join. And you will simply just kind of play music and get ready for the winter and spring concerts, kind of like choir. And for theater, you will take Theater 1, which is a semester class. And there you'll kind of do some improv and scene work and really just kind of get to know the theater. And we really encourage you that you do performing arts. It's a great way to get to know people, and it's a great way to get connected to the school.
Exactly.
That's so cool. Oh,
Thanks, guys.
No problem. We'll see you soon.
We're gonna head
Thank you,
on
guys.
out.
When you come out of the Performing Arts Department and make a left, you will end up at what Miss Jacqueline called the Technology Wing. I thought technology was just playing with computers, but apparently there's something called CAD, and we learn about architecture. I wonder what other types of technology you learn in this department. I'm excited to find out.
And Mr. Kapler and Rachel.
Yeah, come on in.
There, come on in. Come on in. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the CAD program and computer animation, architecture. All that kind of takes place in this room.
Yep. So we teach in this classroom. We have architecture 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 4-year program for architecture.
Cool.
We have a multi-level CAD program, CAD 1, 2, and 3, which is computer-aided drafting and design. So if you like to, invent things or think about, creating new products and things like that, that's a great class. We also have a computer animation class, so if you like Pixar movies and things like that, or video games, it's a great place to be. And then also a video game design class.
That is so cool.
Rachel, why did you pick CAD?
I just really like technology and like on the computer type stuff, and I want to go into engineering when I'm older. So CAD is really like important class or like a skill to know if you want to go into anything technology related or in the STEM field. It's good to know too.
What would you say to a student if they had absolutely no technology experience? Do you think that it's an easy class to learn? From
Yeah,
the beginning?
it's a very easy skill, especially like the level 1 course. It's a very easy skill to pick up. It's not very hard. Plus, Mr. Kepler does a really good job at teaching it. So it's very easy for someone who has no technology experience to figure it out.
Awesome, so cool. All right,
All right. Thanks
there
for
you are.
visiting.
Thanks for your time, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. So we go further down. So we kind of like said, it's the tech lead material processing class. Say hello to Mr. Gonzalez.
Hi.
Come on in.
This looks like a fun room.
It's a fun room. You walk down the hallway and you can always smell sawdust. And I always know.
I'm Mr. Gonzalez, so this is materials processing, construction manufacturing, but also known as the wood shop. Like she said, we do a lot of interesting things down here. The possibilities are endless usually.
You can see some projects hanging up on the walls.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to build something awesome. I also like that I know I wouldn't be the only girl in class because they work hard for the 50-50 male to females ratio.
If you're not interested in the CAD computer animation side, this class does take care of that technology requirement I was telling you about. So it's awesome.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Gonzalez. Okay.
Here, Ms. Jackadine was explaining the technology requirement you need to graduate. You have to take at least one technology class that is going to get you 5 credits. You can take CAD, biotech, power, energy, trans, anything, as long as you take at least 1 year of it.
We're gonna run into here.
We've just entered the room where biotechnology and engineering take place. The first thing I noticed was the wide variety of tools they have available. I wonder if I'm gonna have to learn the names of every tool. Ooh, I see a robot. I bet it does cool tricks. Will I get a chance to program it?
Our Vex robot that we use to like do challenges and move around and program it to do anything that it has to do. Over here we got a bunch of tools, so bandsaw, scroll saw, belt sander, all the fun stuff, drills, and there's some biotech stuff over there. And Rachel's gonna show you the TSA and 3D printing we have over on the other side of the room.
So can I ask you, what level kids work on this?
This is generally juniors and seniors in the 3rd and 4th level of the engineering track. So engineering 1, 2, then the seminar is 3 and 4. And we do a lot of Vex stuff with that. It's pretty fun.
So you'll see a lot of times in these classes, in the tech wing, but also in the performing arts area, that students kind of cross over. So even if Rachel is interested in CAD, she may also take one of the engineering classes, or she'll take architecture, or maybe go across the hall, take material processing, because all of those skills kind of connect together. And they're a way of helping students figure out through the 4 years they're in high school what they want to do once they get out of here. But TSA is our technology association. It's an activity for students. Take it away.
So basically, TSA is a very big part of the engineering, and this department in general. It's a competition where we bring projects and we compete against other kids in the state. And then if you do well, you go to the national conference. And it's just a really fun competition you can do with your friends. You can work on a project by yourself. Then we also have the 3D printers. We have 7 in the department, and we pretty much have pretty free range to use them as long as you're using it for an appropriate reason. And they're just really cool to make stuff with.
Yep, so I'm the advisor for TSA. And another thing about this, there are a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different competitions. So whatever interest level you have, whether it be more mechanical or more computer-based, there's pretty much something for everyone.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds like so much fun.
A lot of cool stuff. Thank you for your time, guys. This is one of our other engineering classes, our engineering transportation, and our teacher, Mrs. Kraus.
Hi.
So I'll let her take over and talk a little bit more about what goes on in this room. Come on in, check it out.
All right, so besides power and energy, like you mentioned, we also do engineering 1 through 4 in here. And we do women in engineering as well. So if you were ever wondering how, things are made, or you wanted to wire something, or you wanted to build a robot to go on that obstacle course over there, this is where you would do those things.
Cool.
How interchangeable would you say the power engineering class is with engineering design class? If you're a freshman coming
They
in?
go hand in hand. As of now, with the power and engineering, it's a half-year program versus engineering 1, which is also a half-year program, but then engineering 2s and 3 and 4 is all a full year. So it's like a nice little introduction to get you focused on where you might want to go, or where you don't want to go also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do you are you adept to these projects or those projects, or are you more hands-on? Are you more of a robotics coder? So it's one of those classes where there's a little bit of everything and you figure out your little niche. So
What kind of different projects do you do? Like, do you build robots in here, or?
We do. In the engineering 3 and 4, we do VEX robotics, and we go into competitions. So that's actually our VEX course over there, and those squares, those multicolored squares, are what the robot picks up and actually puts in the stands around the little arena over there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's super fun. But again, you know, some kids are, you know, we're not really into the whole coding thing, and you don't have to be. There's a lot of other projects that we do as well. You know, I have kids right now, we're doing a little bit of a slingshot catapult, as you can see from that little project over there. But yeah, there's a lot of different little hands-on. We try to do about 10 to 15 projects a year, and that way you're never building the same thing once, and you know, you have a chance to see if you like, you know, different propulsion systems. Like, do you know, you have a mousetrap powering your car, or you have rubber bands powering your submarine, or, you know.
Cool.
So there's different things for everyone.
Do you think, just one last question, do you feel that as an 8th grader coming into either the engineering design class or the power class, the first level, you have to have a certain skill set coming in?
Not at all. Actually, it's interesting because how I got here as a teacher, it was a half-year media technology and a half-year engineering, and I wanted to do the media portion of it, so I had to take engineering by default. Absolutely loved engineering. I liked the whole, and I never thought I would because I'm not really a builder, but you know, I liked the whole teamwork aspect of it, and then, you know, here's a problem, and there's really no correct answer as long as you solve the problem. However you build it and manipulate it and it works, that's awesome. So to answer your question, you don't really need a skill set. We can kind of hone in on whatever you're better at maybe, and work with that. But it's a little sprinkling of everything. So it works for a lot of kids, and it's hands-on, and a lot of people like to be hands-on and tactile versus, you know,
Being lectured at.
yeah, you gotta touch stuff, break stuff, and it's okay, you know.
Great, absolutely. Any other questions from you?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, well, thanks. We're going to
All right,
keep
have a
going
great
on our
day.
tour.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you want any of these programs?
We walked a little further, and now we are in a mini section of the overall technology department. Right now, we are in what Ms. Jackadine called the media technology room. Maybe I'll learn how to use social media.
Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome to the Media Tech Room. Everything that you see on High Point social media is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's all done by students in this classroom and in this program. I'm a Media 3 student, and I'm also a social media ambassador, which I'll get into in a little bit. In Media 1, what you're concerned about, you're going to learn the foundations for the whole program, different software we use, the basics, the principles of editing. All that will be done in your half-year course as a Media 1 student. After that, you can move up to Media 2, which is an honors and academic course, Media 3, and Media 4.
Well done, incredible. Do you like the story that she just told? Do you like
Yes.
telling stories?
I do actually.
Oh, see, that's fantastic because that's what we do here. We tell your story. We tell the High Point student story. And we're hoping that if you enroll in our classes, you're going to be able to do that in all of our social media feeds, learning how to use these amazing cameras, not only DSLRs, but full-fledged 4K cameras that you can actually shoot and explore the wonderful digital world. And that's what we're looking for you to be a part of. So hopefully you'll be interested in
I
that.
can tell you.
Hannah, why don't you take them to the back real quick and show them when we do morning announcements. Come
Morning
on.
announcements.
Yep. So this is the room where we do morning announcements. You start when you're in Media 2.
Okay.
Here's all of our equipment.
It looks so professional. Oh
It
my
is.
gosh.
It's amazing. It's so fun. This is where 2 people sit, and you'll work your way here. We have different jobs, and around the room you can see different equipment that we use. You read off of this, and then after this we bring this to the editing room, and then throughout the day you can see what you say and all the announcements throughout the school.
So at some point I could learn how to use all of this.
Yes. If you start with Media 1, you learn the basics and the foundation, and then you can work your way up into the next year to Media 2, and then you can be a part of this great room with everyone hustling and trying to share our stories.
Wow. This class I might actually take. It seems like it would be a lot of fun.
I recommend it. Some of my best friends here I work with in this room, and we create projects together in and out of school.
Oh,
I would say, Hannah, you could probably answer this more. This class, kind of like a lot of the other electives that we've visited so far, right? So everything we've seen is what we would consider an elective. This class, I'm going to say maybe similar to some of the other technology classes, is it's very project oriented.
Yes.
But it's also independent in the sense of Mr. Fenlon is going to teach you how to use the software. He's going to assign you a project. Here's the deadline. And then you're going to use your class time for those 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long the project lasts for to work on it. And so it can be a challenge to some freshmen because they're not used to being so open-ended in a way. They're used to having assignment. How do you think you would handle that, or what advice would you give?
I'll be
freshmen
honest,
for this kind of class?
during Media 1, I was a little stressed at times because I was getting used to high school, but I'm so glad that I stuck with it because when you get to Media 2, you have so much more freedom. And if you choose your partner correctly and wisely, you can do so much and you'll have so much more time also if you do it out of class. So as you progress, and if you really want to bring your videos to the next level, then I would say that you would need some in and out of school work.
Hi. Just wondering. Oh.
Hi.
Look, we've got more of them out.
This is Mr. Emma. He teaches computer science at High Point among a few other classes. Computer science is another class you can take to fulfill your technology requirement for graduation. There are different levels of computer science, all the way from the A level, which is like the beginner class, all the way to the AP level computer science. According to Mr. Emma, in this class you will learn how to program cool things like the mini robots that a few students are playing with in the hall. Ms. Jackadine said that as a freshman, the class I would start with if I wanted to follow the computer science path is Intro to Computer Programming. This is a half-year class, so maybe I'll take media technology as the other half. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I've never programmed anything before. I hope it's not hard. Maybe I'll take this class.
All right, well, let's keep practicing.
All right, good deal.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Have fun.
Bye. Thank you.
So, in foreign languages, we have Spanish and French are the two. I'll tell you, there are some German students, but we're actually phasing German out. So
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh.
So for you coming in, we're basically just going to have the choice of Spanish 1 or French 1.
Almost every classroom I have walked into, the ceiling tiles were painted. The tiles usually match the type of classroom we're in. For example, we are in a foreign language classroom, and these ones have pictures of a bunch of different cultures. I've never seen a school with painted ceilings before. They look so professional too. Did they have pros come in and paint their ceiling? I wonder how they got there.
The tiles have been painted over a period of time. So they're different students who generally are in the art department or just happen to be very artistic, and they paint tiles.
Ms. Jackadine explained to me that at High Point you can choose between 2 languages, French or Spanish. To graduate, you only need to take 1 year of a foreign language. However, colleges look for at least 2 years of a foreign language, so I'm going to be sure to definitely take at least 2. I got to meet 2 students who are currently both taking Spanish. I'm so happy I get to talk to students who are actually taking the classes. It will help me get a real feel of the foreign language classes around here. I really can't decide between French or Spanish though. I took a little bit of Spanish in middle school. I wonder how much that's going to help me. Ooh, I wonder if they go on any fun trips. It would be cool to be able to go somewhere and speak a different language to someone else. I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
So I'm Maddie, and I'm in AP Spanish, like Ms. Jackie said. Something that I really like about the program is that we get to do a lot of cultural experiences. Last year, my class got to go to Union City, and we learned about like the Spanish culture there. And even though it's pretty local, we got to speak Spanish to like store owners when we went to buy stuff, and that was really cool. So that's something I like about the program.
Cool. I'm Rebecca. I'm also a junior in AP Spanish. And like Maddie said, the culture part is like the most interesting part in my opinion, because we get to do so many different activities that make the class a little more fun and not just like writing down on notes and taking tests and stuff. So it's really interesting to be able to travel and do projects and interact with your classmates in that aspect.
Did you both have Spanish in middle school coming up?
Yeah.
So what would you say having Spanish in middle school
where you wouldn't have had it all year, right? It was like a marking period or a half a year, however it worked. How much do you say you need to really know and feel comfortable with coming into Spanish 1? You remember? I asked you to think back.
I think for the most part, Spanish 1 was a review of what we did in middle school. I know that my teacher did a lot of like Spanish 1 in middle school, so it was kind of just like a reminder and refresher when I came to high school.
Yeah.
But it wasn't super hard.
Wasn't super hard. Would you feel the same?
Yeah, I mean, I went to a different school. I went to a private school, so
Yeah.
it's a little different, but a lot of it is definitely like a little review. But if you're not 100%, like if you don't think you're super ready, the teacher will definitely help you with
Yeah.
it and go over it a little more too.
Right.
It's like a lot of the Spanish teachers
Yeah.
are very flexible with that, so it's good.
It's a lot of fun. This area is pretty festive, you know, with like I said, all the painted tiles and the different things that go on. And the French classes, I would say if you have an interest in taking French, the one advantage to it, I would say, is most of our sending districts do not teach French. So the French 1 classes truly assume that you don't know anything. So some students get nervous about taking a different language because they think, well, I don't know anything. Well, French 1, Mrs. Reynolds, who is the teacher, she also teaches Spanish or can teach Spanish. She knows that. So you're truly, truly starting from the beginning. Where the Spanish 1, even though you're reviewing, there is an assumption that you've had it before because we know it's taught in the sending districts. Anything else, ladies, that we can share, you think?
I don't think so.
Not homework, a lot of homework, do you think, in Spanish 1, if you think back to your Spanish 1 days?
It was a lot of like classwork, not like a lot, but like most of it was in class. So
Yeah.
then the teachers are really flexible too with that. So like if you don't get it done, you can do it the next class, or it's like a little bit of homework, but it's not like a rigorous class.
Great.
Yeah.
Any other questions for you?
No.
No? All right. Thank you very much, ladies.
Have a great day.
Enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Hello, welcome to High Point. So I don't know what school you're from, but when you come to High Point, you're going to realize that we have 2 gymnasiums for our phys ed. Right? We have the main gym here, we have a main gym at the other end of the school. We play a lot of different sports, everything from volleyball, badminton, pickleball. Sometimes we go outside, depends on the season, depends on what we're doing, okay? The weight room here at High Point is one of the best in the state, okay? It has a lot of very modern machines. It's very clean, and you have very good instructors. The majority of our department not only has bachelor's degrees, but we have master's degrees too. Well, typically our phys ed classes always start with a warm-up, okay? So there's always a warm-up involved that would get the blood flowing, get the heart rate up, get a little sweat, which the students don't always like, but that's really why you're here, okay? And then it would progress into some kind of series of exercises, depending on what they were teaching that day or whatever the goals of the student were. Because in the environment we're in right now, we can pretty much tailor it to what you need.
Awesome.
All right?
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Thanks,
welcome.
Mr. Janetta. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too.
Thanks.
Okay.
Aside from the tiles being painted, the hallways are lined with artwork. There are some paintings, but there are also super cool 3D pieces. Ms. Jacqueline says they were all created by students. If that's the case, then this school really teaches you how to be a Picasso. It's very obvious High Point really values the arts here. From a huge performing arts department to allowing students to decorate the school with their own artwork, it's clear that High Point is the place to be. Plus, the teachers and student body are also incredibly nice, so that's definitely a pro. I wonder what type of classes are over here. It seems like the majority of the art is over here, so I'm gonna guess we are in the art wing.
Big on art. That makes me
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah, it is. I think wherever you go with the artwork, because it's so different, and it's done by different years. You can see we also have painted tiles here. It kind of makes the school, I think, like a happier place in a way.
Yeah,
You know,
it's so
because it's
unique.
so bright and stuff. But you always know when you're in the art wing because it has the most on the walls,
on the ceiling. Literally, you could just spend hours just like staring at everything. But before we get to art, we're gonna talk to Sammy about English.
Okay, so if you want to
Real
follow
quick.
me into one of our English rooms. Here we are. There's a lot going on here, but the English department is very artsy.
So cool.
I know,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
There's artwork everywhere. So, I know, it's crazy. It's a lot of fun. But pretty much in the English department, you have a lot of choices. I love to write, so I started out with English 9 honors, but they also offer CPA and CPB classes. And then you can go on to English 10 honors or the A-level classes. And then I'm a junior this year, so I'm taking AP Literature and Composition. And then next year I'll be taking AP Language. But you also have the option of taking just a regular CPA class if you like to, or if you really love English, then you could take the honors and AP classes that they offer. They also have a lot of different really interesting types of writing classes. So for example, I took an amazing creative writing class my freshman year. It's all about poetry and stuff like that, and we also have, you know, clubs that go into that as well. But you really have your choice of, you know, whatever type of writing you're into, they'll have a class for it here.
Sammy also explained how one of the English clubs is Calliope. It is a club where anyone gets to submit their own works of poetry and have it all turned into a physical published copy. It doesn't matter if you play sports or play video games all day. If you like to write poetry, this is definitely a good club to join. I love how it is entirely created by students too. Even the cover of the book is created by a student in the art department.
Thanks, Sammy.
No problem.
So yeah, it's Calliope is just it's fun, it's different. It does kind of allow a little bit of everybody just to have creative expression, you know, and it's also, I think, good for students, even if you're not necessarily going to be a writer, but you're interested in editing. Well, you work as if the students are editors. If you're interested in graphic design and layout, well, that's perfect for an art student. Speaking of art students, we have two standing right here.
So there's a bunch of different things that you can do here in this wing, and as we said, like graphic design, but that's a half year, so you could also like pair that with, if you want to do another art related thing, digital photography, which is another good option.
Sounds like fun.
And then we have Fine Art 1, which
Fine Art, and you can take that from a freshman to a senior, or you can also take crafts, which you could start as a sophomore. Like behind us, we have all the dessert paintings are part of Fine Art 2.
That's cool.
And then the chair and the portraits, they're part of the AP Studio Art.
Yeah, we even have some things from Crafts and Mixed Media, which a lot of people like to do because it's more like tactile based, and you're more like using your left side of your brain, so it's a lot more like ease, and it's not super grade focused. It's more like what you want to create and like what you like to do.
Yeah.
So it's like an easy A, which draws a lot of people in.
Yeah, that's another thing. For Fine Art 1 especially, like you don't have to be a great artist. You just have to try your best and want to be there and just have fun.
They'll give you like something and you can do whatever you want with it. Like a lot of the times, like, yeah, they'll give you something to focus on to like build up your skills. They'll give you the words, they'll give you like the materials, but everything else is like whatever you and your brain imagines, and it's really an amazing experience.
So everything here has been created by students.
Yeah, this is all students.
We got to take a look inside of one of the classrooms. I was so excited to see the art the current students were working on. There was so much equipment in there, it was impossible to count it all. You could do anything from watercolor paintings to drawing with charcoal. I don't think I've ever seen anyone draw with charcoal before. Every piece of art in this classroom is so good. If I saw some of it in a museum one day, I wouldn't be surprised. Looking at all of the amazing art was kind of inspiring too. If a normal kid like me could walk into one of these art classes and come out an amazing artist, then I definitely think I'm going to sign up. Hopefully I make some good friends in these classes too.
Usually like in a normal year, like you would get like you find a partner so that you make a lot of friends in these classes. Like you find a partner, you get a folder together, and that's where you keep all your like works in progress and everything. And then we have those like big cabinets where you eventually hand everything in.
Right.
How fun!
So it's neat because it's the kind of class where, for the most part, all of your work is really done in class. And it's mostly because it's where all your supplies are. So it's the kind of class that students I know like to take to kind of, in part, break up their academic day. Both of these ladies, I can tell you, have pretty hefty academic schedules. So fine arts is kind of a nice, relaxing part of their day because it is a little more creative. You're not studying for tests necessarily. You're not taking notes in the same way. You're really just allowing your brain to kind of take a little bit of a break and to relax. And then you get to create, all kinds of different things.
Ms. Jackadine went over the art requirement too. You need at least 1 year of an art class. That means it can either be a fine art class like the one we are in right now, or even one of the performing arts like band or theater. I will definitely be taking more than one art class. When you walk out of the art hallway and turn left at the corner, you will find yourself in the history hallway. I've never really been a big history person before. I really hope it's fun here if I'm gonna have to take it. Hopefully, I get to learn about the different electives that go on in this department. Wait, what would you even consider a history elective? Regardless, there has to be a fun way to learn about history. Miss Jackadine also called this the humanities hallway. I'm not even 100% sure I know what humanities is, but hopefully someone will explain it to me.
So, welcome to the history department. So your freshman year, you're going to take world history, and that's offered at the AP, A level, and B level, and then your sophomore and junior year, you'll be taking US history.
Okay.
And the history is my favorite subject, so I like to take a lot of the electives we offer. We have US history through film, debate and public speaking, social justice, and all of these really unique classes that really help you get a broader view of history.
What would you say your favorite elective class has been so far that you've taken?
My favorite elective class in the history department has definitely been US history through film because it's a really interesting way to learn history by just watching movies and seeing how Hollywood portrays different events. And next year I plan on taking AP Psych, Social Justice, and Debate in the history department, which are those classes you can take once you become a sophomore.
Cool. So yeah, there are quite a few options in the history department. History is kind of a neat area, I think, in the building, in that you could be like Kyle and really love history and just want to take every class that's offered. But you could also be someone that says, well, I'm really interested in psychology, so I'm going to take that behavioral science class. Or I'm really interested in film. If you're a media student and you want to learn about film, well, this is allowing you to study a particular area of film that's specific to history.
Cool.
So it's kind of an area that can kind of cross over into other areas. So we have students in here that take the electives for all different kinds of reasons. We're gonna head right on upstairs.
We finally got a chance to head upstairs. Miss Jackadine said we were headed to the 300 wing, where you will find all of the science and math classes. I heard there was a pool at High Point too, so I asked her if we were going to get a chance to visit the pool today. But apparently there is no pool. Anyway, I do love a good science class. I heard in high school level science you do dissections. I don't think I could ever handle a dissection. That's part of the reason I really like chemistry. Chemistry would probably be my favorite type of science. I really do hope they offer it here. I wonder how many other different science classes they offer here.
As a freshman,
According to Kylie, High Point has a system set up. When you come in as a freshman, you have to take biology, which they offer from the B level to the honors level. Sophomore year, you have to take chemistry, which is also offered from the B level to the honors level. Your junior year, you have a little bit of a choice. You can either take physics or environmental science, both of which are offered from the B level to the AP level. It's good to remember that honors and AP level classes are the hardest. So I am really going to think about how much I like science and my study habits before deciding which level courses I should take.
Electives, I took AP Biology my sophomore year, and then My junior year, I took forensics, and then this year I'm taking AP chemistry. There's also marine biology, marine science.
I took anatomy my junior year. I think you can take that junior year or senior year. And then this year I'm taking AP chemistry.
So, aside from the sciences that you're required to take, which is what I, as the guidance counselor, will tell you you have to take, whether you like it or not, what made you girls decide to take additional sciences? Would you say you knew going in your freshman year, I love science, I know I'm going to want to take more? Or did you kind of come in saying, yeah, I kind of like it, but you weren't really sure until you hit that freshman year class or sophomore year class?
I kind of knew from freshman year that I liked science, so I just took a lot of classes every year.
Yeah, I really liked biology after I took like honors biology, so that made me do AP. And then like I've always liked chemistry. I knew I wanted to take AP chemistry. Like I couldn't do it for my junior year because like it wasn't running, but I took it this year. And then I took forensics my junior year because I was just like really interested in it from like hearing about different things about it from like different people. Like you can like do crime scenes and you learn everything about how to investigate a crime scene. That just was something I was interested in, but not necessarily like a career path for me. When I took biology, I had like a lot of notes to do, like from the textbook. So like I have to like space out like how many sections I do a day for the notes, so I didn't have to like do all of them at once before they're due.
Yeah, definitely if you have questions, like ask your teachers because like they're willing to help you, and it'll just make everything easier.
Do you have lab as part of your class, or do you have it as an additional period?
Labs are like additional, so you'll have it like, so like we have rotational blocks. So if you have your science class right before lunch on Monday, like you'll go into half of lunch in like that like half-hour block or however long it is will be for your lab. Or if you have your science class in the afternoon, then the day that you have science like right after lunch, you'll have the half hour like the end of lunch to be your lab.
And then all down this wing is pretty much math. We do have some science rooms on the right side. Okay. Here we are. Another classroom, bathroom. As you can see, there are some steering tiles in the math department, but they need some serious catching up to the rest of the departments. So, math. So you would have Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. Those are your kind of 3 years traditionally, and then after that you can kind of go in different directions, similar to what you would do like in the science department. But I will let them take over on math. Go for it.
Okay, so I took geometry and then algebra 2, and then I took pre-calc, and this time I'm taking calculus, but you can also take statistics, or you did instead of calculus, or in addition to it.
Yeah, my freshman year I was in algebra 2, so then sophomore year I took pre-calculus, and then I took calculus as a junior, and right now I'm learning calculus 3 independently.
Wow.
I took algebra 1 as a freshman, geometry as a sophomore, and algebra 2 now as a junior.
When you get into, if you do the traditional route like algebra, geometry, algebra 2, and then you have the choice between pre-calc or statistics, generally speaking, that's when we talk to students about what do they want to have happen next going forward after high school. And this is kind of fast forwarding you a lot in time, but I'm telling it to you because it's important when you're thinking about your freshman year schedule, what kinds of classes do you want to ultimately set yourself up for? So if you know that you're like, I definitely know I'm interested in math and science, and I think I want to go in that direction, then you want to kind of think ahead a little bit about what is my future years going to look like, and which area am I going to go to for math, and which area I might go to for science, because some of those absolutely connect together. Do you have any questions for our math whizzes here?
How are the teachers in helping me? Because I struggle in math a little bit.
Kind of the same as science. They're definitely willing to help if you just ask them questions. I think like
they won't necessarily like always go out of their way to help you unless like you ask them first. So it's important to like, I don't know, make connections with them and ask them when you need help with something.
Yeah, if you're virtual, a lot of the teachers have like office hours, but when we're in seat, normally all the math teachers are in the math office, so you can just walk in and get help if you need to.
And we're gonna head out.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm pretty sure they have some homework to do, so we're gonna let them get to it.
Will I get lost?
I do think that there are some freshmen and transfer students that get lost, at least initially, because the building, although not huge compared to other high schools in the county, it's definitely bigger than what you're used to.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just kind of doing things by practice. But like I said, it's most important, always know where the main office is and where the guidance office is. And if you're ever turned around, just come to one of those offices and we'll help you. Also, I mentioned at the beginning of the school year, we have an orientation on that day. On that day, you'll be joined by upperclassmen. We call them peer counselors. Some of the peer counselors were actually some of the students that you met today. And they, for the first week of school, walk around with Hawaiian leis or something around their necks so you can identify them as peer counselors. They're there to help you. So if you say, hey, can you tell me where room 202 is? They'll tell you where it is, or they might walk you there. So I can tell you, even if you get lost and turned around, the kids in the building are super nice and they're always there to help you out. And you can really ask anybody any question and they'll tell you where you need to go or get you to the person that can help you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's super nice. It's super cool.
We do our best. We try to do our best to make sure that everybody is as comfortable as possible.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
And
Can't wait.
we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.